From Ticker Studios, this is The Founder's Method, presented by Memo Bottle.
Why are so many Australian businesses struggling right now, and how can you protect your own from going under?
I'm Jesse Leeworthy.
And I'm Jonno Byrt, and this is The Founder's Method. This is the show where we get into the real story behind how founders build, break, and rebuild businesses.
Today's guest co-founded Hero Packaging 8 years ago and has since made packaging for more than 75,000 businesses. She's a best-selling author, has hundreds of thousands of followers, and is one of the most honest voices on the internet about what it looks like when a business hits the wall. Introducing Anaita Sarkar.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So, interesting chat today. There's a lot going on in the business world. Interest rates, the recent budget, which we won't go too deep into, tariffs. How do you think it's affecting businesses in Australia and customer sentiment in general?
I think it's actually quite bad for businesses and bad for customer sentiment. A lot of people are saying, oh, but customers are still spending. But what I'm seeing in my business and in other businesses is that it just feels lower than usual. And I think it's been 12 months. It's not just one thing. It's like you said, the interest rate rises, the war, the effect of, the freight costs going up. Also, customer sentiment is low, so sales are lower, expenses are up. It just feels like it's really tough right now.
It does. It feels like it's kick after kick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah,
for sure. So what's happening with your business at the moment? And you've been really public about sharing that online, which is amazing.
I think there are two things. One is the economy is bad, and I do believe that there is a recession coming up, and I think we're kind of in a light one at the moment. But also there are mistakes that I've made in my business, and I think that it's really hard to talk about because it's 10 years of being in business, and I'm making mistakes that are financial mistakes that it would happen to so many business owners because we're not accountants. We're not actual specialists in this field of money and finances, and we don't look at that every day. And people tell us that we need to know our numbers, and I feel like we do, and our profit and loss looks good, but we don't have, cash to pay for bills and to continue to grow the business, and that feels really hard.
Yeah, for sure. It's been so refreshing seeing you share that online. Can I ask, what drove you to actually share that and in real time rather than waiting till it's passed and sharing the highlights?
Yeah, I think it's because when we talk about something so real, it's not about the lessons and being a guru or a coach or something and being like, this is how I recovered and this is how you're going to do it too. It's actually I want you all to feel like you're not alone. And if there's someone who is out there who is in business, maybe one step ahead of whoever's following me, who says, I'm going through it with you, you're not alone. I just think that mentally it will help a lot of people. I'd rather do it in real time and show all the mistakes I'm making and help people that way rather than come out of it in 6 months and 12 months time and go, here are my lessons. It's too late.
Yeah. It's pretty rare though, right? What do you think business owners are scared to be doing that online generally? It's pretty rare. Most people are online gloating about the success of their businesses, but I guess there's stakeholders that you need to be showing face to and all these sorts of things.
You've got to be really careful. I mean, I did crowdsourced funding and I have 700 shareholders who are retail-based investors, and I always think, oh gosh, they're going to think so badly. But do you know what? I believe in the business so much. It's not going anywhere. I'm just talking about it in real time and in the real world, and I think it's important to talk about it. But I don't blame anyone who doesn't want to talk about it because it's not easy and you shouldn't have to. But I thought I could put my voice forward and make it louder so that people who don't want to talk about it but do feel it can also understand that, I'm there with them.
It's amazing.
Yeah. What's the response been like from other founders?
I think people are really going through hard times. If they're on my side and they're supportive, and of course everyone is feeling it, and so they're understanding that I'm saying it not because I'm trying to get anything out of them, but they're feeling it too. So yeah, I guess supportive is the word, and also I'll say two things. One is followers or the business owners that follow me have been really supportive and so encouraging, and it's been fantastic. I have friends who are founders and I guess my network of people who have reached out and actually offered so much help to me. I have never seen like a community band together so strongly. And you know, when they talk about how your network is your net worth, I've realized it's actually not about money. It's actually about the community that you've built and the support that you get when you're in times of need.
Yep.
And so it's been like actually amazing.
Okay, I'm going to hit you straight with this one. Cash flow versus profit.
Yeah.
What's more important?
Both are important. That's a trick question, Jesse. Thank you so much. You're not going to catch me out.
Oh, come on.
I will say that right now, cash is more important. Profit of course is important, and it kind of shows you where the business is at. But when you are spending day to day and you need to pay your bills, you need to pay for inventory for growth, and you need to, pay off, your email platform and your website platform, and you need to pay staff, that's when cash is the most important. And what I have realized is, it makes me feel so embarrassed to say this, honestly, but there is a huge difference between profit and cash.
It's all right. I'm a chartered accountant and I'm exactly the same. We've only just figured this out.
I know, I'm a chartered accountant too, and that's why it's even more embarrassing. But I think what people need to realise is that just because you're in the green on your profit and loss doesn't mean that you can still make payroll. And it is because, I'll give an example, right? So we have machinery where we manufacture stuff, and we have to pay that off it's a lease over 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
So you have to pay that with cash, okay, but only the interest payments hit the profit and loss. So on profit and loss, it looks like it's amazing. The cost of goods is okay, the revenue versus cost of goods is fine, even with the expenses, it's okay. But day to day, paying that cash is not happening. It's really hard.
It's so hard. This whole concept of cash conversion cycle, it's similar for us actually in our business. We had warehouses all over the world, 5 of them.
Yeah.
And we had a cash conversion cycle of 120 days. We weren't recouping any cash for 120 days.
Oh my
and it's only recently that we've consolidated to China.
Yes.
And we're shipping everything from there so that we actually reduced that down to 1 day.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Less profitable, the shipments, but I mean, it's made such a massive difference to our business. And I think it's these sort of decisions that so many founders aren't really considering about what could really move the needle for their business.
And there's no training program on that before you start. Because when you start, you're so excited, you're doing the product, you're doing marketing, you're doing customer service, people love you, you're focusing on reviews. And then all of a sudden you get to this place, and it's usually around the $1 million to $5 million mark where these sorts of things happen. And you realize, I actually don't know what I'm doing. And you're not big enough to hire a specialist finance person in your business, so you have to rely on external parties, but then you also have to know your numbers, and it just makes it a really difficult situation.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think are some of the biggest dangers for founders when it comes to cash flow?
I think the biggest thing would be the debt and getting money into the business, how you're doing that. There's nothing wrong with debt, there is good debt, but my advice is you have to think about why you're getting the debt in the first place. Is it to fund an already really bad cash flow cycle? And is it to fund past bills? Because that is the wrong time to get a loan in the business. It's the wrong time to have a cash injection. You need to fix what's broken first. I think that's what founders get trapped into. It's like, okay, well, we've got all this stuff we need to pay for. Let's get a loan, let's pay it off, and then we can just pay off that loan. If you're funding bad debt through another debt, it's going to be so detrimental to the business. I think one of the things I would say is if you are getting money into the business and you're getting a loan, again, you can have good debt. It should be for growth.
Yeah.
It should be for inventory purchases that is going to bring you money. But while you're doing that, one of the best pieces of advice I've had is to really understand how long you're going to get paid before that inventory sells. So like you guys did, you reduce that cash conversion cycle down. How can other business owners do that? That's the most important thing.
So let's say that you are a business owner, you've got a heap of debt, the walls are closing in. What are the next steps? What can you do as a business owner to prevent the disastrous occurring?
Okay, so on a lower scale, the first thing I would do is, I saw this video which really resonated with me a few days ago, and he said, you need to act like you're an administrator in your own business, and you need to cut every expense, make the business bare bones to a point where it's just running like this, and you're getting money in the door, there is demand, the revenue still comes in, but you're running bare bones. That's the first thing. Another thing that people don't know about, and businesses, no one says it, and I don't think the government does a good enough job of telling them that this is out there. But there's something called SBR, and I don't know if you guys have heard of SBR, or Small Business Restructure.
Yep.
It's essentially a mechanism that was implemented after COVID, because a lot of businesses actually went under during COVID. And the government implemented this I guess, structure where you can restructure your small business. If your debts or your unsecured debts are under $1 million, you can restructure that. So it's not a voluntary administration, but you can restructure in a way that you can get cents on the dollar of what you owe to those unsecured creditors. And I think that is sometimes when your back is against the wall, at least knowing that mechanism is there is really, really important too. There is one more thing called safe harbor, which is that you can get put into, I guess, a place called safe harbor where no one can go after you personally, and you can't be personally liable if you are trading while insolvent. You get some breathing space to keep on trying to make the business work while you're still trying to get cash.
Yeah, okay. It's a wild thing to think about, but like a lot of businesses just don't know that it's there, do they?
No, and I think people don't know about it until they need it. But I think I would love people to know about it before they need it, just in case that one day this happens to them. And I hope it doesn't, but at least people should know.
Yeah.
You've spoken about your personal brand being your saviour at multiple times. Like, how so? Like,
so when I think you guys would know this, but when businesses are going through really hard times, the first thing you do is just stop paying yourself as founders. You just go, like, that's one expense I know I can cut. But then me and my husband work in Hero Packaging. So if we cut our wage or our salary, that's our entire livelihood. That's where we pay for our mortgage and our kids' education. And so what I've done is build a personal brand where I can actually bring money in the door when I need to, and I can monetize that personal brand. So like we were talking about brand deals and speaking on stage, and there have been times, multiple times, where I have been able to pay the mortgage and pay for our entire lives from that as my plan B, which I never thought would have to happen. But I was able to do that because I built a community.
Okay, so in addition to knowing all the things all the ripcord strategies at the end of the line, build a personal brand.
It's actually build a plan B.
Build a plan B.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so vulnerable with everything you've shared online. It's helped us, like seeing your content has helped us, and it's helped thousands or hundreds of thousands of viewers out there as well really get through tough situations. So hoping that everyone else is doing okay, but thank you for everything you've done.
I think like seeing you being so vulnerable also makes it okay for us to share things and be more vulnerable as well.
Yeah.
And
So
I think that's a really big part of it too, because even when we're talking, and we talk often, and when I'm able to say things to you, it feels like a safe space. And I think business owners need that with other founders too.
100%.
Thanks again for sharing today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for
Anaita.
You're watching Ticker. The Founders Method is presented by Memo Bottle. For more, visit memobottle.com.